Hey guys, I would like to share to everyone the dream that I had regarding these two witnesses a week ago. And I sorry if my voice now was quite dull because of the freezing temperature outside. But yet, okay, I will start right now. In my dream, I saw two persons standing above the earth, and I saw the one was wearing black and the one was wearing white. As I was watching them, suddenly I heard a loud voice saying, "Behold, my two witnesses." Then after that, I was terrified about the voice that I heard. Then suddenly I asked these two persons and I said, "Who are you? Who are the both of you?" Then the black man said, "God is my strength." That is what he said. Then after that, the white man answered and said, "God is my salvation." Then the dream ended after that. That dream was quite short, but yet, as I was remembering that dream, I remember that this black man was wearing a black cape, and I don't understand why he was wearing black dress and why he was having a rip, and he was and the two of them, he was the creepy one that I remembered. And the very weird part here is that the rip that he had was like a key, and the the other one was like a king, and he was wearing a violet sash with a crown on his head with a scepter. Then his face was, I can see his face because it was covered with white cloth with a question mark on his face. Then that is what I remembered in my dream. Then I as I was as I remember this dream, I told my our pastor regarding this dream, and my pastor said that I should pray to the Lord for a wisdom or understanding regarding this dream. And our pastor gave a verse or chapter regarding these two witnesses, and this is what he gave me. Then I was given a measuring rod like a staff, and I was told, "Rise and measure the temple of God and the altar and those who worship there, but do not measure the outside court, court outside the temple. Leave that out, for it was given over the nations, and they will trample the holy city for 42 months. And I will grant authority to my two witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the olive trees and the two lampstands, and that stand before the Lord of the earth. And if anyone would harm them, fire pours out from their mouth and consumes their foes. If anyone would harm them, this is how he is doomed to be killed. They have the power to shut the sky, that no rain may fall during the days of their prophesying, and they have power over waters to turn them into blood, and to strike the earth with every plague, as often as they desire. And when they finish their testimony, the beast that rises from the bottomless pit will make war on them and conquer them and kill them." Okay. As I was reading this regarding these two witnesses, I was shocked regarding this matter because I was not familiar regarding these two witnesses. Then, when I received this dream, I asked the Lord to give me another sign to make me understand who they are. And I was surprised this day forward, because our pastor received a dream regarding this matter, and he told me about what he saw in my dream. And in his dream, as what he told me this time, because he went in our house to tell me what he saw, and this is what he said. In his dream, he saw, what do you call this? He, he saw a pharaoh. This is the pharaoh, and this is Moses. But in his dream is quite odd, because in his dream he saw a black man. He saw this reaper was standing in front of the pharaoh, and he was riding a black horse. And the pharaoh, as he remembered, he saw the pharaoh sitting at his throne, and the pharaoh asked this black man and said, "Who is your god?" Then the black reaper said, "The God I worship is the God of Abraham, the God of Moses, and the Father of Jesus." That is what he said. Then, after he spoke these words, this black man suddenly threw a white seed at the in front this pharaoh, and this white seed suddenly grew and spurt out, and it suddenly spurt out and grew into a big plant, and this big plant suddenly overgrew in size and became a huge tree, and this huge tree destroyed the entire palace of the pharaoh. Then my then our pastor saw that plant overgrew in size and grew taller and taller, and until it reached the sky, until it reached the clouds, as he remembered. Then after that the dream ended. Then I was amazed about what he saw, and right this time I made some research regarding this matter, and I made a research about the word Moses said. Oh, Moses, or the Black Reaper, I guess, because in his dream Moses was described as like the grim, as the Dark Reaper, and he said to the Pharaoh, "The God I worship was the God of Abraham, the God of Moses, and the Father of Jesus." And when I made a research regarding this matter, I discovered that in ancient Hebrew text, there's the creator's name was Yahweh, and Yahweh is the name of God of the ancient Hebrews, composed of four Hebrew consonants, YHWH, known as the Tetragrammaton, which the prophet Moses is said to have revealed to his people. As the name of the Supreme Being was considered too holy to be spoken, the consonants YHWH were used to remind one to say the word Adonai, or Lord, in place of God's name or King. Yahweh was the desert God who, according to the biblical book of Exodus, led his chosen people from captivity in Egypt. Okay, as what I remember to the Moses movie, I was thinking that the two witnesses was a prophet, and I'm not sure regarding this matter, but as what our pastor as what my pastor saw in his dream, it was like the Pharaoh, the what do you call this, the Dark Reaper or the prophet was facing the Pharaoh, and it was like he wants to draw his people out. That's what I remembered to the details that my pastor said in his dream. And I made more research regarding this matter, and as I remember, I as what I've as what I'm researching regarding this white man, he is like a king, and as what I remember, he said that that God is salvation, and as I'm as I as I'm making a research regarding this matter, I I made a research that salvation refers to the act of God's grace in delivering his people from bondage to sin and condemnation, transferring them to the kingdom of his beloved Son. And I don't know, but in the term salvation, he that one of the two witnesses was like a, I don't know, but he was described was that he was like a Christ like being, I guess. And I'm not sure about this, but that this is what the Lord showed me. The one of the two witnesses was a kingly figure. He was like a big shepherd among he was like a big shepherd among those everyone on earth. He was discovered like the king over all the earth. I don't know, but that is what I have seen. And the dark reaper was described as a mage, or like, yes, he was described like a mage and a reaper. The prophet figure was like a mage. And sorry if I can speak clearly to everyone because my voice now was quite dull, and because our temperature now was quite not good these days. And okay, as I continue, number one characteristic of these two witnesses is overpowering. This is what I was reading regarding these two witnesses at Revelation 11. They had the God authority grant them the authority, and they had also the power over heavens, the power over waters, sending plagues as often as they desire. All the words that they say happens. In other words, overpowering. And but the problem now is there are so many self-proclaiming people on YouTube that says they are witnesses. Because and when I was making a research these past days on YouTube, on Google, I saw so many self-proclaiming people regarding this matter. And but I say to you all that all of us should be careful and do not let ourselves be deceived that by those people, because we do not know who those two witnesses are. The true witnesses are overpowering, and we don't even know when they will come or what kind of person they are. And regarding these two witnesses, we should be wary, or we should be watchful nowadays, because we don't know why the God was showing me about these matters. And let all of us should be watchful, and let's us all pray in God's name, and may the Lord overshine us the wisdom and understanding. And by the way, thank you to our pastor also who gave me in an additional signs and that God gave us. And Thank you also.